Bonjour. Let's see some of the ways to say sorry in French. Some of the common expressions that are used in everyday life to say sorry in French are désolé or je suis désolé, which means sorry or I am sorry. Now, there are some adjectives that can be added to désolé or je suis désolé to make it sound really sorry. You can say je suis vraiment désolé, it means I'm really sorry, or je suis tellement désolé, that is I'm so sorry. And one can also say je suis très désolé or I'm very sorry. Moving ahead, je suis navré. Now this expression also means I'm sorry, but this is an extreme sorry, especially when it comes to saying sorry when it is a very serious situation, or when you have done something very serious, or when you're reacting to a very bad news. This is the expression which is used, je suis navré, which is an extreme and a serious sorry. Other more common expressions for sorry in French are pardon, just like we say in English pardon, pardon in French, and je regrette, which means I regret. Now, like we say excuse me in English, similarly in French we can say excuse-moi for an informal situation, or excusez-moi for a formal one. When we use it with vous, we say excusez-moi. When we use it with tu, we say excuse-moi, which means excuse me. Just like we say excuse me in English, similarly, this is the expression for that. Now, the verb to apologize in French is s'excuser. For example, Elle says excusez de son retard. She apologized for being late. Moving ahead, these are some expressions for apologizing. These are the common expressions which are used in everyday conversation. The first is c'est ma faute, c'est de ma faute, when we want to say it's my fault. So it's c'est ma faute, c'est de ma faute. And when we want to use it for the past, like it was my fault, we can say c'était ma faute. C'était ma faute. To say my apologies, we can say toutes mes excuses. Toutes mes excuses. To say I hope you forgive me, with tu and vous, there are two expressions here. With tu it is j'espère que tu me pardonnes, and with vous it is j'espère que vous me pardonnez. J'espère que tu me pardonnes, j'espère que vous me pardonnez. I hope you forgive me. Now, these are some of the expressions for professional context. When in professional context we want to say sorry, maybe in writing or in formal situations. When we want to say please accept my apologies, it is veuillez m'excuser. Veuillez m'excuser. Veuillez m'excuser. When we want to say I beg your pardon, it's simple as je vous demande pardon. Je vous demande pardon. I beg your pardon. When we want to say I sincerely apologize, je présente mes sincères excuses. Je présente mes sincères excuses. And when we want to say I would like to apologize, we can say je voudrais présenter mes excuses. Je voudrais présenter mes excuses. There are some more expressions for professional contexts which we have brought it for you over here. When we want to say I apologize for the inconvenience, we can say désolé or je suis désolé pour le dérangement. Je suis désolé pour le dérangement. When we want to say we apologize for the inconvenience, it is nous nous excusons pour le désagrément. Nous nous excusons pour le désagrément. Then if you want to say I beg you to forgive us for something, we can say je vous prie de nous pardonner pour. Je vous prie de nous pardonner pour. And when you want to say I'm sorry to inform you for something, je suis au regret de vous informer. Je suis au regret de vous informer. Now, when it comes to expressing sorry, we cannot ignore expressions for condolences, because those are equally sorry expressions, but in a different way. Not that sorry, but expressing sorry for condolences. So that is also an important part of this lesson. So we have tried to get some expressions on this. For example, my condolences and my sincere condolences is a very common expression that we use for such situations. So in French, it can be said as mes condoléances or mes sincères condoléances. When you want to say my sympathies, it's mes sympathies. It's mes sympathies. I offer you my condolences. Je vous offre mes condoléances. Je vous offre mes condoléances. And when you want to say all my condolences, we can say toutes mes condoléances. Toutes mes condoléances. There are some more expressions for expressing condolences. When we want to say my deepest sorrows, we can say mes chagrins les plus profonds. Mes chagrins les plus profonds. This is the most common that we use. I'm sorry for your loss. It is very commonly used for certain situations. We can say je suis désolé pour votre perte. Je suis désolé pour votre perte. Please accept my sincere condolences is je vous prie de bien vouloir accepter mes sincères condoléances. Je vous prie de bien vouloir accepter mes sincères condoléances. Another common one is I'm sorry to hear that, or when we want to say sorry about that, sorry for that. So for these two, it's je suis désolé de l'entendre. Je suis désolé de l'entendre. And for sorry about that and sorry for that, it is désolé pour ça. Désolé pour ça. Now there are some everyday conversation phrases that are used for apologizing, which is used in everyday conversation. These are we simply say I won't do it again. How do we say that in French? It's je ne le ferai plus. Je ne le ferai plus. When you want to say I shouldn't have done it, it is je n'aurais pas dû le faire. Je n'aurais pas dû le faire. This is again a very common one. I didn't mean that. So this is again when you're feeling sorry and we want to say I didn't mean that. It is je ne veux pas dire que. Je ne veux pas dire que. And if you want to say I didn't intend to do that, it's je n'ai pas l'intention de faire ça. Je n'ai pas l'intention de faire ça. And when you want to make sure that you'll not repeat the mistake again, for saying I'll make sure not to redo this mistake again, we can say je ferai en sorte de ne pas refaire cette erreur. Je ferai en sorte de ne pas refaire cette erreur. Okay, hurting somebody and then saying sorry is a very common thing. So there are some common phrases for this situation as well, which we have gathered over here. When you want to say I didn't mean to hurt you, you can simply say je ne veux pas te blesser. Je ne veux pas te blesser. For sorry to have hurt you, you can say désolé de t'avoir blessé. Désolé de t'avoir blessé. And when you want to say that sorry to have hurt your feelings, you can say désolé d'avoir blessé tes sentiments. Désolé d'avoir blessé tes sentiments. Last but not the least, I'm sorry, it was never my intention. For this, we can say je suis désolé, ça n'a jamais été mon intention. Je suis désolé, ça n'a jamais été mon intention. Merci.